Hey church, Pastor Matt here with our missional equipping video of the week. I was just out today walking our dog and the question came to my mind. I was reminded of this question from our discipleship pathway. The question has two parts. It's who am I discipling and who is discipling me? That is a really important thing that we discuss at FCC because we want to make sure that we have community. It's literally in the name, Fremont.Church. But I think that's sometimes easier said than done. Sometimes it's really vulnerable to go to someone and ask to be discipled. And sometimes it's also kind of ambiguous. And in the same way, it can be a lot of pressure to take on someone under your wing as a disciple. And again, still very ambiguous as to what exactly am I supposed to be discipling you about? But we see in 2 Timothy chapter 2, verse 2, it's a lot of twos, Paul is writing to Timothy, and he tells Timothy to remember the things that I've taught you and to teach them to other people so that they can teach it to more people. And he lays it out very plainly, and then he kind of moves on. And so it doesn't exactly help with the clarity bit there, or the content bit, but he has obviously taught Timothy something, and Timothy is leading one of the largest church plants that Paul has created on his missionary journeys, and he trusts Timothy with it enough to take it over. And he writes these letters to Timothy to say, hey, remember these things. And he makes a point to clarify 4 generations of discipleship. Paul passes it on to Timothy. Timothy is instructed by Paul to pass it on to others, and also given the instructions to make sure that generation of disciples passes it on further. So it's 3 generations of discipling with 4 generations of disciples. And it's such an interesting passage because it's glossed over so plainly. Like, yeah, remember the things I taught you and pass it on to others and make sure that they're passing it on too. And I really wish that we had more on that because it can feel intimidating to disciple someone. Like, who am I to be a disciple maker? That's some pretty Jesus level stuff. And I wouldn't be surprised if Timothy felt the same way. He was also a pretty young guy. Paul also wrote to him, don't let anyone look down on you because you're young. And so Timothy is in some ways really swinging above his age bracket. And in a lot of ways, the apostles were as well. Most people don't know that when Jesus was discipling his 12 disciples, they started out as anywhere from like age 13 to 21. And so by the time that Jesus has finished his earthly ministry, they're like 16 to 24, 25. And so they are entrusted with these huge tasks. And it actually brings me a little bit of comfort to know that the disciples and apostles, when they were planting these churches and fostering communities of Christians, that they were just doing the best that they could to live faithfully to what they had learned and to what the Holy Spirit was guiding them to do. So as we're asking ourselves these questions, who am I discipling and who is discipling me? Discipleship can be this somewhat ambiguous term, but from the beginning, all it has been is taking what we've learned and passing it on to others and trusting that the Holy Spirit will guide us along the way. So I encourage you to ask yourselves those questions. Who am I discipling and who is discipling me? And as we are doing that, how is the Holy Spirit guiding you? Thanks.